We test fitted it in the basement. Now it's time to test fit it here. This is where it counts. I'm kind of where I was yesterday morning. 24 hours has gone by, and now I'm where I should have been 24 hours ago. Okay, big test. Now, just to rehash, the holes that I have drilled in this flex plate are the same size as the holes that are in the torque converter, and 2 sizes below what the professional transmission builder did, except for one hole. One hole didn't line up exactly right, and that I went 1 size bigger on, and downstairs it fit. It's still 1 size below what the transmission guy did. So these holes line up better than the professional guy did, which is a good thing. So, here we go. Does it fit? All right, slides into the crankcase. That one goes in, that one goes in, that one goes in, that one goes in. That one went in. We got one left. And it goes in. They're all in. How about that? So, let's put the transmission in. I wish I could bolt this up now and put the transmission up against it, but that's not the way it works. First thing we're going to do is torque this down. Let me get set up for that. We're going to torque the flex plate up. Torque specs for this flex plate are 95 foot-pounds. There's disagreement on how to get there. Some say 35 foot-pound increments, some say 40 foot-pound increments. We're going to use blue Loctite. Now why Loctite puts blue Loctite in a red bottle, I don't know. They put the red Loctite in a blue bottle. Blue Loctite is medium strength. Red Loctite is permanent. I'm told to use the blue because it resists vibrations better, and the red Loctite is more susceptible to vibrations, so we're going to use blue. So here we go. I don't know what the setup time on this is. Put the cap on. Okay, now this thing starts at 50 pounds, so I have it set 10 pounds below 50 pounds. I don't know what that'll do. Star pattern. Okay, now we're going to go up 35 foot-pounds, so that'll be 65. We'll go to 60. 60. Okay, and 30 would be 90. 90. 90. Now I have the front locked down, so the motor can't turn. And now they want 95. So there is, that's too much. There is 95 right there. And we'll go up 1 pound to 96 and retorque. And go around one more time. Okay, now I don't know if you remember, but when we took this transmission out, torque converter fell out. I want to replace the front seal because we may have nicked it, so that's the next step. On to the next step. And oh, you always want to take the pressure off a torque wrench. You don't want to leave it torqued up. Next step is to put the transmission in. But I don't know if you guys remember, when we took it out, we dropped it. We dropped the torque converter out. So it was kind of hanging out of this thing. So I'm a little worried about the seal. So we're going to replace this seal. No sense of putting this whole thing in and then having to take it out because the seal leaks. I've yet to come up with a good way to remove this seal. Because although this shaft will come out, this shaft will not. So you can't put a clamp around it to get it out. You can't put a bearing and remover in there to tap it out. So the best way I've got is to try to run a screwdriver underneath the edge, unless somebody has a better idea. So let's see what we can do here. It's actually coming. All right. There we go. One seal out. So now we gotta clean that up. I just get a little brake cleaner. So we got a new seal here. And what I like to do is put a little bead of salt cone around it. And I do like these big tubes. And you can seal them up just by wrapping the top up. So just a little bit. Don't want to get anything on the seal itself. Okay. Now, the only way to get this in is to tap it in. Kind of get that nice solid sound. And work your way around. And like I said, just about the time you think it's not going to go, it gets there. All right, I'm going to put a little more seal in there. Oops, get it off of there. All right, the last thing we want to do is lubricate that seal. And I got a little down here, but it's not enough. So I'm gonna get some transmission fluid. So now that we've retrieved the transmission fluid, and I've been scolded more than once, you don't need to buy this expensive fluid. I just can't bring myself to put normal transmission fluid into a racing transmission. I just can't do it. And we want to get that seal nice and wet. And we might as well coat everything else. All right. That'll save that seal when we put the torque converter in. You don't need to have, where'd the paper towel go? I'm not wiping the part that runs on the torque converter, just wiping that dry. Okay, now we get to put the torque converter in. And that we're going to do on the floor. So next comes another difficult task. We have to put the torque converter into the transmission. And this can take me a while sometimes. I don't have a good way to do this. There. Put a little transmission oil on that to help the seal. And this always takes me a long time. This never goes easy. There's 3 steps. There's the pump and the 2 splines that you got to get lined up. There's 1. There's 2. And the 3rd one is the tough one. Oh my gosh, there's 3. I've never done it that quick. Now, the way you make sure is you got to put a straight edge across here and measure to the surface of this to make sure that this is as deep as what the flex plate is. I've never had it go that easy. So let's do that. I'm not even prepared. What we do is take 1 straight edge and go across the front of the transmission, and a 2nd straight edge and go back to the torque converter. And I have 8, 9, 10, 11 sixteenths. 11 sixteenths. And then we measure from the flex plate to the mid plate, and that is 1/2 inch. 1/16 less than a 5/16. So I may not even need any spacers. Now we got to lift it up and put it in. I'll set up for that. The object is to put the transmission in the dragster without the torque converter falling out. And I think I have it balanced pretty well. So let's see if we can do it. It's a little easier if I have more than one person here, but I'm by myself. Now we're gonna have to clear this. We got transmission lines over there. GM did a wonderful job designing those. Get this cable up out of the way. Got another cable in the way. Okay. That's pretty close. All right, what's in the way? Oh, transmission lines. Of course the transmission lines are in the way. Oh, that dowel just slid, that just slid in. All right, let's put a bolt in. Now, I do have anti-seize on these bolts because we're going into an aluminum block. Go the right way. Don't like that. Let's jack it up just a touch. All right. Okay. Okay. There is a torque spec for these, but I'm not worried about it right now because I have to put cables and stuff underneath those bolts. Let's make sure that we got nothing underneath it. Doesn't look like it. Let's see if we can put the rest of the bolts in. And that one started. So the only one that didn't start really was this one right here. Let's gently see if it'll go in. Yep. Okay. Transmission is in. Let's check to make sure the torque converter isn't bound up. Torque converter is fine. I don't know that I gotta put spacers in there. I wonder why that's what changed to make that not need spacers. All right. I'm gonna leave the straps on there for right now. No, that shouldn't have changed because the flex plate is, the transmission is bolted up to the mid plate. The crank comes back further. That would do it. Okay, that's that.